Katie Reschny is joining the podcast today. She is the co-owner, along with her sister, of the Elm Massage and Bodywork right here in Palm Harbor. She's also a Palm Harbor native, which you can't go wrong if you're a Palm Harbor native. And she's just got a really great business. They have a unique technique that they use at the Elm Massage and Bodywork, and that is the Barefoot massage. You might have heard of it before, but we're going to dive into that and just kind of learn a little bit more about Katie and how she got into this business as well. So let's do it. Welcome to another episode of Palm Harbor Local. I'm your host, Florida native and real estate ninja, Donnie Hathaway. You know, I started this podcast because I'm extremely passionate about connecting you with the people and the local businesses that make Palm Harbor so special. Palm Harbor, Florida is a great place to live, work, and play. It has everything you could dream of, from the food, the outdoors, the lifestyle, to the people in the community. I wanted to create a podcast that connected the community and inspired everyone to live better. To join this community and stay up to date on all things Palm Harbor, visit my website, it's palmharborlocal.com, and sign up there to join the locals. And remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local. So welcome, Katie. Now that we are finally set up and ready to go, I appreciate you jumping on the podcast with me. I'm excited to learn more from you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
So your business, the Elm Massage and Bodywork, let's start with that and just kind of just tell everyone what you guys are all about there.
So we are a multi-therapist massage group. So my sister and I, who are business partners, started Eastlake Massage back in like 2003. So we have been in Palm Harbor our whole lives, and we landed in Eastlake. And probably about 4 years ago, we looked at each other and we were like, let's grow this. Like, let's be bigger than just the two of us. So we brought on our first employee back in 2018, I believe. And then we started to niche into a specific form of bodywork called Ashiatsu Barefoot Massage. And then it's really just grown and evolved from there. So now we have 9 therapists.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All within the last 4 years.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was always my sister and I.
Yeah. So let's go back to the beginning. I want to circle back to that decision to grow. But let's go back to the beginning and just kind of like, how did you get into massage therapy? And is that something you always pictured yourself doing?
No. So I actually went to school for resort and hospitality management.
Okay.
I loved service. Like, I loved the service industry. I love catering to people, making an experience. And I was in college and I was just like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, I don't know if this is the route I want to go. So my sister was a massage therapist. She's almost 6 years older than me. So she's got a little bit ahead of me, and she was doing massage. And I was like, that seems like a cool gig. And then I left school, went to massage school. And like, you ever do something and you're like, oh, like, this is it. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, yeah. I knew like the first day in massage school that I was going to love this, and this was going to be my path. So my love of service turned into love of service in a different way. Yeah.
So what is it that you enjoy about it so much that you were like, that just clicked right away?
I'm always the highlight of somebody's day. Like, nobody's ever mad to see their massage therapist. You know, they're like, oh, like, I am that goal for the week. And that is exciting. So like that, oh, I get my massage this week. Like, people look forward to me, and that's a really awesome feeling.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And did you recognize that like in massage school or?
Early on, because I was also conflicted. I'm like, I might want to do hair. Hair seems really cool, but hair is super subjective. And I'm like, what I think is cool and what they think is cool might be two totally different things. Yeah. So that's why I went that route. Like, it'd be really hard to make somebody upset in a massage from my perspective. So that's why I just went with it. Yep.
Okay. I like that. So fast forward a little bit into, you've now been a massage therapist for,
17 years.
17 years total?
Like, I'm like 17 years, I believe. I always get my numbers mixed up, and then I question that I'm old enough to be that. But yes, I think it's around 17 years.
So 4 years ago, you and your sister decided to like grow the business. Like, what was it that changed that flipped a switch? Like, let's do this now.
So my sister and I are like the perfect opposites. So my strengths and her strengths could not be on opposite ends of the spectrum. And forever, we worked in the same location, but across the hall from each other. And we did our own thing. We worked independently. And then I started doing barefoot massage. And Ashiatsu barefoot massage is just a deeper form of massage. And she had people that needed more work. And she started referring her clients to me. And so we started like tag teaming this, and we looked at each other one day and we're like, this is so silly. Like, why don't we just combine our efforts and grow something bigger and serve more people? Mm-hmm. And that's how it happened.
So you were almost operating as like two separate businesses at that point.
Yeah, we were both like independent. So like we both worked under the same name, but I had my gig, she had her gig, and we were totally separate. And then when we came together, it was like, everything made sense. Yeah. It was really cool.
It's amazing too. Like you guys did that for so long without kind of realizing like maybe this could work together.
Yeah. And it's awesome.
Yeah. So cool. So what do you enjoy most about like working with your sister?
The synergy. So like I am the out in public. I don't mind meeting people. I don't mind doing things like this. Yeah. I love marketing. I love just being out there. And her strength lies in like the behind the scenes, like in managing the team. And we really nurture our team. And like Nicole is so good at that and like seeing each individual person. And so she will kind of like, I dive right in and she's like, let's survey the scene. Let's evaluate, like, because I will just go in head first. And she's like, let's pump the brakes and make sure that this is the route we want to go. So where I'm all in, she kind of reins me in sometimes and makes sure that we're making the best decisions.
Yeah, I think it's great that you said that, because you really need both of that, right? You need like that, like let's just try it and fail, and then we'll learn and make mistakes and correct them from there. But then you also kind of need a plan to like know what which direction you're heading to.
And that is us to a T. Yeah. And if you ask our team, they say the same thing. It's really funny hearing them talk about us.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
So what about like some growing pains or just some challenges you had kind of growing the team?
I think our biggest challenges have lied in like where to invest our time and money on stuff where things may have seemed like a really awesome idea. And I was like, wow, that didn't work out. So more fine tuning, like we were massage therapists first and business owners second. And trying to get that to be a more even place has probably been our biggest challenges. So like learning the business aspect along the way has probably been our biggest growing pain.
Yeah. I think that's tough for a lot of people, right? Because they don't think of, I think of like a lot of entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, they get into the business or they start their own business because they don't want to work for somebody else or for whatever reasons, but they don't really know how to run a business or operate a business, right? They know how to be good at their specialty.
We're amazing at our craft, right. But learning the business part along the way, that has been the biggest challenge. But we've been blessed with like meeting the right people too. So like where we may have fallen down, the right people have showed up and we've learned valuable lessons and all of that. And that's been really cool too.
Yeah, I like that. So let's talk about like the barefoot massage, and that's kind of your specialty. And I know you teach it and stuff now. How did you come across that, and why do you love it so much?
What's up, Palm Harbor? It's your host, Donnie Hathaway. If you are looking to stay up to date with all things Palm Harbor, then visit my website. It's palmharborlocal.com. Super simple. You can sign up there, join the locals, where I'll be sharing more information on local events, local history, and what's happening in Palm Harbor. I really want to create and add more value to you as a listener for spending your valuable time tuning into my podcast. So join me there, keep listening, and remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local.
So I always tell people, like, it sounds crazy when I first say it, but I use my foot as the massage tool. And what that does is just a broader, deeper, consistent pressure, opposed to traditional hands-on deep tissue massage where it's pokey, like elbows and thumbs. They can give you that like pain response, where some people can say, I don't like deep tissue work because it hurts. So how I describe the barefoot work is diffused pressure. So it's like somebody giving you a big bear hug versus a poke in the arm. So I was seeing longer lasting results in my clients. People were loving the work. It just has been transformational. In addition to, it's more career sustaining for a massage therapist because you burn out really fast in this industry, which is where my heart is for teaching it. Because around my 7-year mark, and that's what they say about massage therapists, is that you only make it 7 years before you burn out.
Because like your body's broken down.
You're injury, really, like
Yeah.
repetitive motion injury.
Okay.
So it's really hard to sustain a full client load and not injure yourself when you're doing just hands-on.
Yeah.
But we stand up on the table and we use overhead bars for support. I'm not hanging there like a monkey. People have crazy ideas of what that looks like. I'm really just using it for balance, and gravity assists all of my movement. So it's sometimes, I don't want to say it's effortless, but it's as close to effortless as it can be when it comes to delivering consistent pressure in a massage.
Yep. I got to say, like when I first saw it too, I had the same reaction. I'm like, well, that's
so
odd.
weird.
It's
I get
different,
that all
right?
the time. I
Like
get
your
that all
feet?
the time.
Really?
Well, so you asked me how I got here, and I got a little sidetracked there. So I had a client who had gotten it on vacation. And it was about 2 years that he asked me to go take this class. And I was like, that is weird. You are weird. Like I had all my own judgments on it. And finally he was like, I will just send you, just go. And I was like, well, okay. Like you can't dispute that.
Right.
So I went and I remember going to the class, and like they start you with like in a seated position. So you're not standing on the table. And I remember putting my feet on somebody for the first time. And I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like your feet contour to the body in all the right ways. And just, so with the insistence of a loving client, that is still a client of mine. I went on this path.
Yeah, that's crazy. It is interesting, like how, just one person can kind of change the direction of life and whatever it is,
That's amazing. I took him into, when I first started teaching, I remember bringing him into my classroom.
Yeah.
And so if you've ever seen what my setup looks like, I've got this big wood structure over my table, but this one in my classroom, I have 3. And so I brought him in and I looked at him and I remember feeling so emotional, like, you changed this path for me.
Right.
And he was so humble about it. And this is what I love about like finding that these kind of people is like, he was like, but you did the work. I just pointed you in the direction. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's true too. I'm like over here, pat myself on the back. I did do the work.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. So what is, that's what I was gonna say. I recently listened to a podcast and talking about like bare feet and that sort of stuff. And they were, I think this guy was like labeled like his, marketing name or whatever was like the Barefoot runner or something along those lines, right?
I follow him. Yeah.
Yeah. So he, so listening to them talk about like your feet and, how, we wear socks and shoes and that changes the anatomy of our feet and how it,
and your entire body.
Right. And
that all trickles
affects everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing.
Well, and so like my feet are super healthy. So like where you get people that are like resistant, I'm like, my feet are clean, they are exercised. Like I take better care of my feet. That I take as good of care of my feet as I do my body.
Yeah.
So, and it all just goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
And really like we all should be doing that, right?
Yes. Yes.
That was the one thing that that took a takeaway that I got from listening to that podcast was like, I never thought about, exercising your feet or, working on mobility and that sort of stuff.
Foot health is vital to overall health.
Right.
And I think it's very overlooked sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. So in a very like generic term, like how does a massage help somebody? Right. I think a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, you should, you're feeling sore, you're feeling tight, you should go get a massage. But like what are the more specifics on like what's going on and how does it help?
Well, I think it's individual and I don't think there's just one solid answer. But for some people, it's like I cater to a lot of athletes and people with ergonomically dysfunctional jobs. So what I'm doing is helping kind of remap their body's habits and patterns. Mm-hmm. So for my clientele, it's maintenance so they can live the life that they're living and continue to do what they're doing. However, there are other people that are doing it for that meditative moment where they get away from the kids and the work and the this and the that and all the things that we're responsible for, where you just zone out and we literally just like steamroll you out and there's not a care in the world.
Yeah.
And we really tap into that parasympathetic nervous system where you really can heal. Everybody's kind of got a different purpose for massage. So I think it's really individual. It just depends on why they're choosing to go. So I think self-care has been a very hot term for so long.
Right.
And I think it kind of dilutes what we do sometimes because it's just wellness care. It's not self-care. It's just part of a wellness lifestyle because it's the stress relief. It's the muscle recovery. It's the making sure you're moving in your body better so you can go to work every day.
Yeah, I like that. I like what you said because it's different for everybody, and it just kind of depends on like, you know, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So for some people, the barefoot massage may not work. For others, it may be like what they really needed.
Yeah. And so like the thing with the barefoot too, when people hear that about us, that's not all we do, you know, that's something that I think is important. Like we would never do barefoot massage on somebody it wasn't indicated for. Like I'm not going to be doing it on the 90-year-old lady with brittle bones or the cancer patient or somebody that it wouldn't be right for.
Yeah.
So that's important too.
Very cool. So what do you enjoy about teaching it now? And where do you see that kind of role going?
So that's been evolving. So I was teaching for other companies.
Okay.
So I was teaching their material and it gave me, I learned so much in it. And my why for teaching barefoot massage was giving other massage therapists tools to have a longer career because we'd burn out so fast. However, I am starting a teaching collective amongst groups, a group of therapists where we all have our niche. So I've got a little bit of everything in the massage world. So we've got people catering to certain types of massage. So for me, teaching the barefoot massage, it's about longevity, but continuing our education as a whole on a really high caliber as massage therapist elevates our profession, which sometimes gets less than positive media sometimes.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to be a massage therapist, they can come to you and learn and get their certification, or
they have to be a massage therapist already.
Okay.
So as massage therapists, we have to have continuing education every 2 years.
Yep.
So they go to massage school, they get their license. Then to maintain their credits, they have to do more education every 2 years. So
Okay.
they already have to be massage therapists first, and then they come to us.
Okay. And so you're just teaching additional ways and that sort of stuff. So going to massage school, what is that like and how long is that?
It's kind of like I'm a little sad with where it's evolved to. When I went forever ago, we did 750 hours. It was all massage and therapeutic techniques. Now, most of the schools are doing massage and skincare and basically creating spa therapists. So it really cuts off that therapeutic element, which is where I come in. I'm like, okay, so you've got the basics. Now let's get you into more of a specialty. And what we do is more of a specialty and more of a niche. So that kind of just creates a higher caliber of therapists. So everybody gets their baseline, and then they find quality continuing education after they become massage therapists.
Yeah. Is there somebody who can you do you become like barefoot massage certified, or how does that work?
Yes, you can, depending on who you're learning from. So some of the different schools have their certification process. So how it goes is you go to your class, you take the class, that's it.
Yeah.
Then from there, most schools are you practice at home, you document it, you take a test, you pay us a fee, and now you're certified.
I got you.
So that's typically how that rolls.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting.
There are some that do it online, and I've got a strong opinion on not learning barefoot massage online because you have to feel it to understand.
Right.
Like,
doesn't make sense.
Like it kind of boggles my mind. Like you take touch out of a touch profession.
Yeah.
So like to me, quality is in person when it comes to massage therapists. Learn your like law and ethics and the things that we're supposed to have. Learn that stuff online. But like when it comes to the touch, go take a live class. Like that's super important.
So do they have like I guess people that come in for the students to practice on?
Yeah. So when I teach, I have like a student clinic round. So I bring in people that know the work and can give quality feedback, or typically somebody that's like a larger body that like they're less likely to hurt.
Yeah.
So they can explore different bodies and tissues versus their massage partner that they've been working on for class. So kind of giving them something new to work on as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is there like a certain amount of hours that you have to have before to like maintain your license or anything like that? Or you just
So every 2 years in the state of Florida, we have to have 24 continuing education credits.
24 C?
But it's 12 or 14 of like hands-on work.
Okay.
There's like 9 that are required that we do. Like I literally have it memorized after doing it. Like I could probably been doing the same one for law and ethics since the beginning of my massage career.
Yeah. There's only so much you can learn.
Yeah.
There, right?
I'm like, that's the same material over and over. So, but it's what you do with the other ones that are really important.
Yeah. Very cool. So you've been in Palm Harbor for a long time.
I'm a native.
You grew up in Palm Harbor.
I'm a native. I have been here since.
Man, I've had a bunch of natives on here recently.
Really?
This is awesome.
The diehard Palm Harbor people.
Like
I've tried to move away, but I come back because it's just pretty awesome here. It's like the best part of Florida.
Yeah. Have you lived other places?
I've moved to Tennessee and I did South Carolina for a little bit too.
Okay.
I can't handle the dreary coldness. Like I love it until like the winteriness comes and then I'm like, I need the sunshine.
Yeah.
And those not sunshine days are a lot up in those places.
Yeah.
So
that's I have a vision of having a home or something up in, North Carolina, Georgia. But I agree. I'm hesitant to like commit full time up there because of those days.
Those dreary days. I'm like, we're spoiled by the sunshine here.
Yeah.
Like,
it is hot this time of the year, but it's, you can be in the AC and you don't have to experience,
I'll take
heat.
a little sweatiness. Like, you know what? I don't know how to do cold weather life. Like I think about like scraping my windshield and like turning on the car for 30 minutes before I leave. Like, I don't know that life.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm like dressing in layers. Like people do that all the time. Like, no.
Multiple shirts.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. What is that? I can't wear flip flops. Forget it. Forget it.
So what do you love about Palm Harbor so much?
I love my community. Like I love my group of people. Like I am in the most amazing community with the Elm. We are in the same location as Ignite Chiropractic and Wellness. And that is big because there's a school attached to that. Like there's just so much all rolled into that. And that gives me life. Like I want to move to the mountains, but I stay because I love my community here.
Right.
And I love my clients here.
Right.
And it's the people. The people are amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that's what I hear a lot about Palm Harbor too, is the community of people, is different than other areas, other cities in our area.
East Coast feels like New York to me. Like they're just, the people are different. Like there's just like, I feel like we get more like the Midwest people here, a little softer sometimes. Like there's a kinder thread that runs through this area that just speaks to who I am. And I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So what do you like to do in Palm Harbor? Like if you had to pick like one spot, or one location, one restaurant, whatever it is.
Ooh, that's
where
tough.
Are you going?
Ooh, that's tough. We just love being outdoors in general. So I've got 3 kids. So we love just doing we love riding our bikes on the trails and we love all the trails. And I remember as like a little kid when they built Pinellas Trail.
Oh yeah.
Like I can go back that far. Like they converted all the railroad tracks into the Pinellas Trail. And I used to ride with my dad and we'd go get ice cream. And like I grew up on Tampa Road. So like I love just being outdoors. I love the parks. I love just being outside, even though it's hot.
Yeah.
I've been working out every day in the heat outside, and I'm here for the sweat.
Yeah, it is. It is. I do enjoy that. Right. I mean, if you go out like 2-3 o'clock, like that gets a little extreme with the sun.
You learn. Those aren't the best times of day to go.
But going out first thing in the morning, the humidity, the heat, like it's still, it sucks. Maybe it's uncomfortable at first, but you adapt and you get used to it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then restaurant wise, that's changed. I have small kids. We don't go out as much as we used to.
It's challenging.
But like my favorites are like, I love going down to Dunedin and Frenchie's and the Causeway and and stuff's evolved too. Like things that I used to love aren't there anymore and stuff like that. But just in a different season where we're just more in the outdoor life than going out to eat life.
I like that. We've our family of 4 has tried to make it out to a park like every Sunday morning or something like that. That's our thing. Like let's go out and get outdoors, and just walk around in a park and stuff for a couple of hours.
Ours are Saturdays.
Saturdays?
Saturdays are
Cool.
our day.
Yeah. So what's your favorite park then?
I keep going. John Chestnut's always just Old Faithful.
Yeah.
Like, it's just got the best trails. They've
really
got the
does.
best park. It's kind of got the best of everything. I grew up going to Anderson.
Okay.
And then I went back to Anderson and I'm like, oh, can't beat John Chestnut. Like, we always go back. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so good.
Yeah. Yeah. John Chestnut is different.
And
There's so many locations in John Chestnut that are really cool.
A lot of little hidden gems in there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I found a new trail in there the other day. I'm like, I didn't even know this was here.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah. It's very cool. Well, Katie, this has been fun. I appreciate you
Thanks.
jumping on here. How can people find you and just learn more about the Elm and what you guys do?
You can find us online. Our website is theelmbody.com. It was way shorter than putting our whole name. And then on Instagram, we're the Elm Body as well. So all social media, all handles are the Elm Body.
Simple.
Yeah,
I like
keep it easy.
Yep.
But thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome. And I really appreciate what you're doing and just letting other people know that there's so much amazing in Palm Harbor. And I feel like Palm Harbor needs a little more light sometimes. And you're shining that. So thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for listening to another episode of Palm Harbor Local. I really hope you got a ton of value out of today's episode. Now, if you're looking to connect with the guest or just get more information on the episode, then you can check the description below. I'll have all the links in the episode as well as a link back to my website. It's palmharborlocal.com, where you can stay up to date on what's going on with the podcast and sign up there to join the locals. Let's get after it this week, and remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local.